Hi everyone, this is Becky from My Creative Life. I am back today with another 30-minute or less layout, and I am going to be working in my Dylusions Dialog journal here. Now, when I do really fast and easy layouts, I tend to pull my distress ink pads because it's not as messy as paints would be, and blending these colors together don't take a lot of time at all, especially with this new brush I just got. It covers a large area, as you can see here, and blends together these colors really nicely. Now I'll go ahead and link all of the items I use on this layout today down in my description box. Now I will go ahead and leave the entire blending process in this video, and I do the same for the stamping as well. That way you'll see exactly how I got the look that I got on this background. So of course I always start off with the lightest color that I'm using, which on this layout would be that blue, which is the speckled egg. And here I have a darker blue. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but like I said, I will have it listed in the description box below. And then I'll go in with a little bit of black soot. So you can see there, I went ahead, used my heat tool to make sure my background was dried before I move forward. And now I'm going to be adding some interest to my background using two different stencils. And I'm also going to be doing a little bit of stamping as well. So now I am going to use this border stencil from Martha Stewart, and I am using it with the same shade of blue that I used on the black background, but instead of using the Distress Oxide ink pad, I am using just the Distress ink pad, which will give me a more vivid color on my background. It's not going to be extremely bold, but you're definitely going to be able to see it a lot more than if I was to use the Distress Oxide ink pad. Now I will add this to both sides of my layout and the top and bottom as well. But once I add it to the top and the bottom, I will stop right after that larger floral part of the stencil that's in the center. For my focal points today, I am going to be using those 3 butterflies that you see on the bottom right corner of the screen. And there's a bit of orange on those butterflies. So I wanted to add a tiny bit of orange to my background as well, just to tie my focal point and my background together. So I pulled out another Distress Oxide ink pad there, and I cannot see the name of it that I use, but I will add it in the description box. And it went beautiful with this blue color that I have going on the background. I'm also going to be using it together with the stencil just to add in a little highlight of that orange in some of the same areas that I stenciled in before with the black soot. So using Distress Oxides, once you hit it with some water, you get this really awesome effect. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now with my Distress spray bottle. I'm spritzing my background and just getting some of that excess water up with some tissue. And it will just leave me with a really beautiful effect on the background. So next up, I am going to be doing some stamping. I wanted to add some white highlights and decided to go with a Dina Wakley stamp. It's a scribble stamp, and this gives me a really subtle effect on the background. You can see I just went ahead and stamped the entire background. I will also go in later on with my black archival ink and also add a few of these scribbly circles, but not as much as I did with the white ink. So now I'm gonna add a pop of color, adding in these butterflies, which are some beautiful butterflies I've had in my stash for a very long time. And I am gonna go ahead and remove the film that's on the back. I'm just using some washi to help me pull it apart. And I'm gonna go ahead and seal all of these butterflies in using some matte gel medium. Now it will look a little bit shiny right here, but it does dry, clear, and it will be matte. So now I want to go ahead and add a little bit of shadow around my butterflies and help them to blend into the background. I really was not liking the white halo around each of these stickers. So I'm going to use my water brush here together with my Stabilo All pencil and just add a tiny bit of shading around each of these butterflies. Now it did not give me the effect that I really wanted, so you'll see I will eventually go in with my finger dauber and some black soot, and that definitely did the trick and helped these to blend into the background. I will also just use a tissue, a damp tissue, to just wipe off the top of these butterflies once I'm done blending them into the background, and that helps remove some of the black soot that I did not want covering up the beautiful colors on these butterflies. So next up, I am going to add in my quote, and I'm going to use some alphabet stickers for my quote. I found this quote on Pinterest, and I'm going to add it in on my background exactly how I saw it there, with the different colors for each word. That way, once you read, there's the orange letters, it will say be who you want to be. If you read it together with the black letters, it says remember who you want it to be. And I'm gonna add those in here and seal them in using some matte gel medium. That way they're not gonna go anywhere. I'm not gonna have any lost alphabets here. And I'm gonna add in some white splatters as well. Now I am using some acrylic ink here for my splatters. You can see I'm gonna add some larger ones, some tiny ones, and I love using acrylic ink because it does not absorb any of the ink that's on the background. It's gonna stay the exact bright white that you're seeing it to be right now. So if you are familiar with my art journal projects, you know I love having a really dark border around my layouts. Now here I wanted to maybe do something a little lighter and not have that dark edge, but in the end it will be a little darker than it is right now. But I am starting off here by adding some of this light orange. This is a Posca paint pen, and I'm just smudging it on the edge, but it just was not doing it for me, so I went in with a distress ink pad here in orange. I think this might be spiced marmalade or carved pumpkin. And next up, I do go in with some black soot. Now I do not go really heavy with the black soot. I add it just on the edge, and then I'll take the ink pad itself, the small ink pad, and just outline the edge of each of these pages here. That definitely defined the edges of the layout and pulled it all together, and I absolutely love how this looks. It's not as dark as I usually do, but I love how it looked. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video today, and if you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up before you leave. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing today. And if you do, be sure to hit the notification bell, and that way you'll know once I upload new videos. So I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to stick around. I'll have a close-up look at this layout as well as some still shots coming up. So until my next video, bye.